Today I am reviewing a very special book. It's an ARC, the first ARC I've ever received. And am I supposed to say ARC? I don't know, but it releases in February and it's by Erin Kinsella, an author and author tuber who I already looked up to, and she asked me to read and review it. So here we are. Now I know what you may be thinking. Opal, if you always insist on how much you avoid and despise most romance books, why are the only books you review on your channel romance books? And I can explain. That is because I only like to review books that I didn't expect to like or that just surprise me a lot, and usually fantasy books or just regular YA books that I pick up. I expect to like them, and I do, so I'm like, yay, that's good. But then with a genre that I dislike, like thriller, or a book that is strictly romance and not just romance on the side, most of the times I think I won't like them, and I'm right, I don't like them. But it's different for this book, apparently. I mean, it's not that I was expecting to hate it, I was very wary about it, although I was so grateful that Erin asked me to review it, so thank you. Also for knowing I exist and for asking me to review it. Hey, so speaking of awkward fangirling, the main character of Heart and Seoul, Tessa Hale, is a character I really relate to. What happens is that she's an author and she's getting her book adapted into a Korean drama, so she comes over to South Korea in Seoul. She meets the crew, the cast of the people adapting her book, and one of them, playing the main lead, it's her bias, her K-pop bias, who she's already like a fan of, and what happens is a very awkward marriage of convenience story because they get caught together since he's a very like famous idol guy through a very embarrassing like situation that they're both thrown into, and they're basically either she's forced to either like let the reputation of her favorite K-pop band be, ruined because of her mistake, or to marry this K-pop dude, and she basically chooses to fake marry him. Now this book is dual perspective, something that I really like in a romance book or just contemporary in general. I think it's a really good way to show different perspectives, different lives that end up coming together. So the idol guy, I really know I'm gonna butcher this name, Baek Eun-ji. Let's just call him G, yeah? Okay, so G, the idol guy, he is a very layered individual. He has issues, he has a dark past, and I really appreciated how that was handled. In a few romance books that I've read, it's been like, sometimes if one character has problems, that problem is automatically just disappears because of love, but that's not how it works a lot of the times with mental illness and trauma and all that. It's something you work through together. So now that we've introduced the plot and the two main characters, let's talk about all the things I loved about this book. First of all, Erin Kinsella's writing, I really, really love how descriptive it is, how vivid everything is. I could imagine this book as a TV series or as a movie. Also here in my notes is how I appreciated like the healthy relationship. Even though it didn't really start out all that well, it is healthy. It is a healthy relationship. It's the kind of thing that doesn't, like, one of the things I really, really hate in a lot of romance books commonly is the instant love kind of thing. But this one, like, she may have, Tessa may have, like, already a crush on G, the idol, but that doesn't mean it's a relationship. That's just a celebrity crush, that's not a thing that can turn into a thing. This could have gone wrong with that whole weird relationship thing, but it didn't. Another thing I loved was the side characters and all their awesome, wacky personalities. They were all so likable. If I had like one dislike about the side characters, is that they didn't really seem to have much of a thing outside of the two main characters. A side character would be introduced as Tessa's best friend or G's idol co-member, and I'm wondering what their lives are outside of that. But that's okay, they're side characters, they're supporting characters. But I did think of that a couple times about if they have depth beyond being friends or acquaintances of the two main characters of Heart and Soul. Do I ship it? Yes, I do. That's important. Do I myself support the canon ship? I do, very much. There are so many cute dialogue scenes and just interactions in general that I loved. I already love Tessa because, like, she's my girl, you know. We get each other. Me and this fictional person, we're spiritually connected. You know what I'm saying? I like Tessa, and for me to like the main character is important. And I also really like G. I didn't like him at first. I was like, oh, okay, typical K-pop boy, but he grew on me, especially with his the depth that he has to him. So I do like these two main characters a lot. And I already mentioned the side characters are all charming. They're all precious. I love them. Unlike the Rosie Project review, the only other book review on my channel currently, this book is not yet out, and so I'm not going to talk about spoilers. I'm not going to go into too depth of the plot. I'm just going to talk about the things I like, the things I didn't like in a very vague kind of way. So this comes out February, okay? I'll provide the links down below. I just want you to check out this book. So let's quickly go to the things I didn't like and then just wrap up on my overall rating. A few of the scenes felt a little bit long and inconsequential, if that makes sense. Just a couple. I'm not going to describe them in detail, but I get what's happening, but I also wish it was a little bit shorter. Maybe it's because of my Zoomer attention span, but I don't know. That's just what I thought while reading it. Another thing I already mentioned, the side characters. I wish they had more of a life outside of being friends with the main characters. And something that confused me was all the Korean terms being used in the books here and there. Well, it's nothing that really stops you from enjoying the story. I was just really confused about it at first because I'm not familiar with it. I am really interested in the culture, and a lot of that was used in this book, obviously, because it occurs in South Korea. But I didn't understand a lot of the terms. But there's a section in the back of the book that explains them, so I guess that isn't really a complaint. I just got confused about it for the first few chapters. It is getting darker and darker, oh my goodness. Halfway through the book, it occurred to me that this is book 1 in the series, so I started wondering, oh, how long am I gonna have to wait for book 2? And yeah, when I saw it on Goodreads as a first book, I was like, well, how could you turn this into a series? Well, dumb. Not all romance books are standalones. They can be series too. So yes, I'm looking forward to the next book in the series. I really enjoyed this. Characters, I think, were the strongest thing about this, but because of the side characters not being like having the most depth, I would give them an 8 out of 10. And as for the plot, I found it very interesting, very like entertaining. It kept taking like some twists and turns which I wouldn't expect in a contemporary romance. Again, it's very clear how like unexperienced I am in the genre and how little of it in the good side of it I've seen. Obviously, I need to kind of reevaluate my previous prejudice. I give the plot a 9 out of 10, and I guess that would make the overall rating like an 8.5. I'm gonna make it an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you again, Erin Kinsella, for giving me an ARC and letting me read it. This has been my honest review. It's a bit short just because I don't want to give away anything for people who are planning to pre-order it or buy it when it comes out. Sorry for the bad lighting. It started out good, but even like half an hour passing and the natural lighting just goes away. So that's my review. Thank you for watching, and I will see you, I would say next week, but I think I'm gonna see you in a couple days, so bye.